G'day, guys. Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. Now, you're probably wondering right away, why am I wearing headphones around my neck? Looks a bit silly. I'm just trying to emulate what the Pro Bowl's doing with the flag football. Did you guys see the Pro Football today or yesterday? Sorry, not a big fan, man. Not a big fan. But there is a reason why I'm wearing the headphones. We're going to take a little bit of a look at our other channels, Minnesota Vikings. I have some breaking news from Minnesota Vikings Syndicate, and it's to do with Brian Flores. So this came out yesterday. So according to Ian Rappaport, the hashtag Steelers senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach Brian Flores is expected to have a second interview with the Arizona Cardinals for their head coaching job on Wednesday, source said. He will also interview with the Broncos defensive coordinator, or as a defensive coordinator, job the day before, and is a top candidate for the Vikings job as well. So it looks like that Brian Flores, all signs are pointing to him finding another job in the NFL. If it is with the Cardinals, could be with the Vikings, it could be with the defensive coordinator position with the Broncos as well. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think Brian Flores is gone? He's with the 1-year contract as an assistant. I think with all these interviews going on, I believe he probably is going to be either the head coach or a defensive coordinator somewhere else in this league. He used to be a coach for the Miami Dolphins, and I think he was hardly done by in that situation. And I believe he'll fight his way up to be a defensive coordinator somewhere else. So he has chances with the Minnesota Vikings and with Denver. Now, I did also see this report too. I saw another thing, according to Sports Illustrated, Albert Breer. Flores was one of the 2 finalists for the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator job. He is currently looked at as the backup if Denver Broncos did not allow current DC, I cannot pronounce this name, Ejiro Evero out of his contract after days of contemplation. Denver has released Evero, making it likely he signs with Minnesota. Now, I've butchered that guy's name up completely. But here's what kind of happened. Denver has released their guy, their defensive coordinator. He's gone. Now, in recent news, but I'll let Trey from the Minnesota Vikings break this down. But basically, he signed with the Panthers, and now there's more of a likely chance that Flores can sign with the Vikings. Let me get Trey to break it down. So we have a network of syndicates here. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, the Lions. We have the Chiefs. We have quite a few now. We have Miami Dolphins, Denver Broncos, and we have the Minnesota Vikings with Trey. And also on the rise too, we have the New York Jets. We have quite a few guys, content creators, talking about their team, just like I am on this video. So shout out to Trey, because Trey breaks it down for us in this quick little video. If you guys have a bit of time, let's start it now.
Vikings, as Tom Pelissero reported just moments ago, the Panthers are hiring Ejiro Evero as their defensive coordinator per sources, a huge hire for Frank Wright in Carolina, which moved swiftly to lock up one of the NFL's most talented young coaches after Denver left Evero out of his contract. Now, if you do not remember, the Vikings were one of the teams that actually wanted to interview Ejiro Evero for their open defensive coordinator position. However, it doesn't seem like that actually took place. The Panthers swooped in real quick and made the signing official. So that means, like Ian Rappaport had tweeted, the Panthers and Vikings both had discussions with Ejiro Evero, who ends up in Carolina with a huge commitment from the Panthers. Minnesota had 2 top candidates for defensive coordinator, Evero and Brian Flores. They are in now strong position for Flores, and let me tell you, I am pumped about it. I am okay. We have seen what Brian Flores has done with defenses in his career. I mean, with the Miami Dolphins, we already know about that situation. He goes over to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Steelers defense is always top tier. They always have the talent there. But if you bring him to Minnesota, I think he makes us that much better. So I'm pumped about it. It seems like the new defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings is going to be Brian Flores.
Well, there you go, guys. That's according to our mate Trey from the Minnesota Vikings, as I can still hear him in the back of my headphones. But no, I kind of believe that to a certain degree. You know, like this tweet says yesterday from Ian Rappaport. So Brian Flores is expected to have a second interview with the Cardinals. He has an interview with the day before that with the Broncos, and is a top candidate with the Vikings. Now, like Trey said in that video, the Denver Broncos defensive coordinator Eva, I cannot pronounce his name. I have no idea. I've butchered his name so many times. That's how life rolls. Can't pronounce his name. We'll just call him E. The defensive coordinator E from the Broncos. He's now a Panther. So he was fighting for a spot or having a chance to get a role with the Vikings. Now it looks like the Vikings only have their eyes set on Brian Flores. So there's interest there from the Vikings to go and get Brian Flores. There's interest there from Denver Broncos getting a new defensive coordinator. And of course, there's high interest from the Cardinals getting a second interview for a head coaching job. Where will Brian Flores go? I don't know. Will it overly, the second question is, will it overly affect the team? Do the Steelers need an assistant like Brian Flores to come in there? Or are we happy with Terrell Austin and a lot of the other guys in the coaching room, along with Mike Tomlin, to hold that ship steady? Do they overly need the impact of Flores in the locker room? Now, I do believe, if you guys let me know in the comments below, what do you think is going to happen? I think if you're going out there and interviewing with all these teams, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, or whatever it may be, I believe you are searching for a job with a higher pay and for a bigger role, and I believe you'll go and get that. So I don't think the Steelers will hold on to Flores because he has that much interest around the league. The Cardinals, Denver, and now Minnesota. So there could be a very likely possibility that Flores might be signed over the next few weeks, and it could be very exciting for him. And I hope he gets a second chance, because how he was dealt his cards with Miami pretty much got cut there. He had an even record. I think it was like 31-31 or 30-30, something similar like that. He had a very even record over the 3 years, trying to turn that program around. Got cut. Mike Tomlin extended his hand out, gave him a chance. He did his job with the Steelers last year. We look at the improvement with Mike Robinson, the improvement of Spillane. The only one I couldn't really say there was any improvement, more like regress, was Devin Bush. But Devin Bush is going to be cut, more than likely. So he'll be cut this offseason, and the Steelers will go a different direction. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think. Do you think that Brian Flores will stick around to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, or will he go and sign for the Cardinals, the Vikings, and the Denver Broncos? Special shout out to my mate Trey. If you guys want to hear any Minnesota Vikings talk, just YouTube or Google Minnesota Vikings Syndicate. He does some good stuff over there, talks all about the Vikings. I understand this is a Pittsburgh Steelers channel, and we are catering to 100% Steeler fans. But if you do want to check out the other syndicates, just type in Minnesota Vikings Syndicate. That's where I got the video from Trey. So thank you, Trey, for that, mate. You never know. Flores might be your defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, or he could be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. All right, guys, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.